Throughout most of my life, I wasn't a very attractive guy. In other words, I was pretty ugly. I was pretty ugly, right? I had no idea how to style my hair. I used to always have a lot of acne around my nose area, so it literally had me feeling like I was on some Rudolph shit. And on top of all of that, I'm 5'7". Whilst I couldn't really do much about my height, I've quickly discovered that there's a whole space on the internet that's specifically for people who are trying to enhance their looks. Wow, ain't no way. That is absolutely unbelievable, right? I'm pretty sure you're familiar with what Looksmaxxing is, right? And as soon as I found out about that, I immediately got into it, and it did a lot of good for me, I finally fixed my haircut. I stopped looking like a kid, really, and it got rid of my acne, at least most of it. So in the end, I ended up looking much better than I used to, right? But do you know what was the one thing that didn't change from Looksmaxxing? Do you know what is the one thing that those videos cannot give you? I'll tell you what that thing is right now. It was the fact that I was still terrible at speaking to women. No matter how much better I would end up looking, because looks still had a major impact, right? Because I looked better, I would still get more attention from other females, right? But the issue was that even though I was getting noticeably more attention, I didn't really knew how to handle it. I didn't really knew how to handle it because I was the same like dorky little guy deep down as I was before I started Looksmaxxing, right? I still had no idea how to speak to girls. And this is the one thing that you need to put a lot of fucking emphasis on, my friend. If you are trying to if you're in a period of time, right, where you want to look as good as possible and you want to get all the girls, right? Because who didn't have that period of time, really? Who didn't try like Looksmaxxing for a little bit just to see what would work, right? Who didn't? Let's be a little bit relatable, right? Who didn't have this period of time where you would do mewing every time you would walk around the corridor at school? I think we all did that at some point in time. But anyway, if you're in a period of time where you really want to enhance your looks to become more attractive, please, and I know this advice has nothing to do with your looks, please put in some effort when it comes down to like the way you handle yourself around other people. Because as I said, if you're gonna be this very good looking guy who has no idea how to handle and manage like social situations, you're gonna put yourself in a very shitty spot, my friend. And I'm telling you this from experience, right? Because from most of my life, I was actually a pretty extroverted kid, Back in a period of time where I was just a child, Back in a period of time where I was growing up, before even puberty, I was a very extroverted kid. I used to often like speak to new people, I didn't struggle with making friends. However, as soon as I went into high school and I started to notice that everybody around me, acts the way they act. Do I really need to explain it? Fucking vapes, partying every week and all that shit. That was never really like my style to begin with. That was never something that I enjoyed doing. So I found myself a little bit outcasted, a little bit left out, because I didn't relate to all those people in my school, right? And all of the people who I would surround myself, really, I could not relate to them at all. So it got into my mental health a little bit, right? It got me feeling a little bit lonely. However, because I was able to find self-improvement and I started to learn all of these different ways to handle myself around other people and what to do in social situations, I became much more fluid again around other people. I got back to this level of extroversion that I used to have back when I was a kid, and honestly, it's fucking great. Honestly, it's fucking great, because you know what girls really fucking want? And I know these type of sentences sound cringe to say on the internet, right? Oh, what girls really want is this, and this. But I'm pretty sure you're intelligent enough to get that what I'm trying to say is actually like authentic, right? What girls really want is, it's not even the fact whether if you're like good looking or not. Of course, by any means, you should still do your Looksmaxxing. Yeah, don't look like a fucking homeless man. Still take care of your looks. Still do all of that. But you don't need to obsess over your fucking cantle tilt. You don't need to obsess about like how negative your eyebrows are tilted. You really don't need to get that deep into that topic, because what girls really care about is what the confidence you have. They want a charismatic man, not a man who like obsesses over like the smallest little things. Whether if that one hair, his eyebrow is longer than the other one, and the hair in his nose longer than his fucking hair on top. Okay, what the fuck am I yapping about at this point? You get the general idea, right? When you're confident, when you can handle yourself like a fucking man, and the girl can tell that. That's what matters far more than just fucking how negative your eyebrow tilt is. Fuck that. Fuck that. As long as you're a fucking man and she's a fucking woman, you don't have to worry about anything. Okay, that's not really true. As I just said earlier, you still need to take care of your looks, right? Don't look like a homeless man. If you still got a shit ton of body fat on your face, like, go take care of that. If you still have acne, of course, go take care of that. But you really don't need to obsess on like the smallest things like these guys on the Looksmaxxing community do, right? Because once you actually start getting into those like very specific things, you'll quickly realize just how black pill all of this actually is. You know what fucking black pill is, right? You'll quickly realize that you can't really do much about the things that they talk about because you can't really change your fucking eyebrow tilt without surgery. You can't, same thing for like your cantle tilt, same thing for like your nose shape, your mouth shape. You can't really do much about that besides like plastic surgery. I'm talking about like the very in-depth things here because there's always some things you can do to enhance your looks. But if you really want to get that deep into Looksmaxxing, then you'll quickly realize that for most people, it's gonna be very hard to get your fucking eyebrow angle checked and all that. But as long as you're able to look clean and look like a man, as long as you don't do like fucking what do you call it? Like, they call it feminine gaze maxing, something like that, where guys try to look as much like a female as possible because apparently that's like very attractive to like the low quality women. I'm pretty sure you're in check. As I said, as long as you look clean and you don't you don't look like a like a homeless Romanian, you got you covered, right? You're taken care of. Just as long as you take care of yourself, you're pretty much fine. But really put a lot of fucking emphasis on the way you fucking behave and the way you handle yourself, really. Because it doesn't matter how you fucking look. It matters to a point, right? It matters how you look to a certain degree. But once you start obsessing over it, it's like you're not really doing that much good to yourself. You ended up doing much worse for yourself because you are obsessing over that shit. And I'm a victim of this as well, right? Fuck it, let's get straight into it. Around a week ago, I made a random poll on my channel asking whether if I should like dye my eyebrows like to a darker color because I recently saw a picture of myself under like bad lighting and I quickly realized that what the fuck, my eyebrows are literally fucking invisible. But then I sat there and I objectively started to think about it and I was like, have you ever seen a guy painting his like eyebrows, dyeing them? No, that's fucking gay. That's fucking gay. What the fuck am I even considering at this point? Like, really, like, be a fucking man. Be a fucking man. And it's ironic as fuck because you're hearing this from a 16-year-old, but as long as you're a man, she's a woman, you're taken care of, she's taken care of. Like, of course, you still wanna put in the effort in the way you look, right? As I said, don't obsess over like the most minute shit because that's not gonna do that much good in the first place. But you should still put in the effort the way you look, right? Because that shit matters a lot. Do you want your women to not put effort into the way you look? No, of course not, but it should equal right? It should equal out. You should still look good and take care of your looks, but you shouldn't like obsess over your fucking cantle tilt. Fuck your cantle tilt. I should make it a movement in self-improvement. Fuck your cantle tilt. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. As long as you're able to level up your charisma and the way you handle yourself around other people, that's all you fucking need. That's what girls really fucking want. They don't want a little bitch boy bimbo who obsesses over like the minute things about his face. They want a fucking man. They want a fucking man who actually handles himself like an actual human being. Be like fucking James Bond, bro. Be like a James Bond. Be like a stylish, like masculine man. Okay, this is before we finish off this video, have you ever watched fucking James Bond movies? I'm talking about the modern ones here. Like James, like he's not good looking, is he? He doesn't look particularly good, but when you see in the movies what type of woman he like spends time with, it's like it's all about like the character he has. And I know this is like a movie character that doesn't actually exist, but you get the general idea, right? If you ended up learning something valuable here today, then I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% confident, matter of fact, that me and my community have exact things for you to develop and become the fucking best version of yourself, all right? So if you're interested in that, you should totally join the Discord. It's free, you don't have to worry about anything. We host voice calls here pretty often, so you will even get an opportunity to talk to me directly. So don't worry about that. Besides that, if you want to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you think is right, honestly. I'm not gonna force you to do anything. Maybe once I'll get past like a few thousand subscribers, then I'll be like, what was that one quote they often say? Only 0.2% of my viewers are actually subscribed. So if you could please subscribe to my little fucking channel. And like, you know I'm not like that, am I? Yeah, honestly, bro, do whatever you think is right. If you ended up learning something today, you can give it a like. If not, then like, You just wasted 10 minutes of your day. Fuck you. Yeah, I really hope you found value today, and I'll see you in the next one, brother. Take care.